Hey y'all. So peace, love, and positive life synergy. I know I look like I just said before I started the camera without the filters and everything. It's Wednesday, January 21st. I wanted to start out the morning saying that it's day number 14 or 15 with the 1 and 10 medicinal functional mushrooms. So that's like the lion's mane, all the ones that help you with clarity, the fish oil, and then selenium, alpha lipoic acid. I haven't added yet because it helps with gut health, and the selenium, and then chondroitin and glucose or glucosamine and chondroitin will help because everyone is talking about uplifting your magnesium and uplifting your let's see, so uplifting your CoQ10 and your magnesium and so your proteins in your 40s. And so if you do that and your fish oils and all that to get your gut health and your muscles and your neurological system to help your memory of your DHEA and your EPA, because your body stored it, whatever you ate in your, youth. And then because your parents really wanted to push that if they were healthy, and mine were very athletic, and they really knew that food was connected to mental, and if the gut was happy, because they knew that there was like a brain connected to it. So collagen is the other thing. So those are all peptides and amino acids and things. So the memory and the muscles that I'm talking about are neuroplasticity that you need in your 40s, because in your 50s things take a pause. And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I didn't really feel the natural ebb and flow like some of my friends did when they were younger and they were going out spending hundreds of dollars, living it up because, they just could. They didn't have the family life and the sacrifice that it takes to be a caregiver and have a servant's heart. And, they just, and it's hard, in your 40s to gather that and come to congruence, and not bow down to the lifestyles and gain knowledge to your allergies, because we have food allergies, and a lot of mine are dairy. And, it took me, my ex and other people made fun of me for that, having to eliminate. And that sweatshirt that was like kale, that was popular back in like the paleo and vegan, it was called Pegan diet times, which that's what I have on my bookshelves right now, which I still live like that. And my mom and I kind of did. So tonight I just wanted to make like a quick video about the mushrooms, and it makes me kind of stay up a little bit. And my ADD, I don't have ADHD, but I have adult deficit. So, and I have dyslexia. So anyway, I thawed out some chicken, and I've been doing either just sticking with the whites, meats. I can't quite go back full vegan because my son really loves meat. He'll eat jerky and sausage, and so that's what I am limiting our beliefs in, and that's what it is. It's a lifestyle, and if you make small limiting beliefs in your goal sets, they can be promising, and you don't set yourself up for failure in the future. So I know a lot of you are trying to be healthy and nutritionists, and that's really what it takes as an advocate in the healthcare field today, because you have to be your own advocate and you have to know what gut health is, because in nursing we tell everyone pretty much it starts in the pantry, it starts in the refrigerator. And my nutrition fundamental nutritionist nursing teacher, she always said, like, this is important. You need to know your kcals. You need to know how much the body, will burn when you take this in. And so, like, she taught every nurse how to be essentially a nutritionist. So when a patient had, like, say, a swallowing problem, they knew the consistency of food or other things. So my job is to teach just like hers and continue that advocacy for others and teach other little baby nurses, because, that teacher's, she's older now, and she's now doing other things and directing, in the board. So it's just important as a professional to remember the fundamentalism of medicine and not get wrapped up in the network. And so I want to teach, AI that, because there are jobs teaching AI as humans. So as crazy as that sounds, I don't want to get too lost in that verbiage, but I was just reading about that because I've lost a fellow, I just lost a fellow community person that I knew today. I wasn't really close with him, but anyway, just through circles. And I wanted to do a video about music this morning, and I wrote a poem last week, and I was going to write another one this morning and get some things done and write a report about a lady I might be taking care of next week she's in her 60s and possibly early onset dementia. So I can really only work about 16 hours a week, possibly. So directing my own network, thinking about the logistics of how I can help people going into their home and meal prepping for them, and memory care, adding more B complex vitamins, fish. She likes to drink wine and watch football. Those are, I don't even know her name yet. So those are some things that I'll be thinking about. And my business will be in lines of advocacy and a triage for now, of knowing what one needs, and then referral and care plan development, and in this town, because We need more jobs, and we need more good people. So to have those jobs, and in all honesty, and we need a good company to represent that. And I have a good background, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm praying that in, and she's gonna be one of my first clients since I haven't done this in 8 years. I tried it when I was married, and it was like a competition back then in this town because it was like the big boom for at-home healthcare and advocacy, and it was just strange because and then because before that it was like the big boom for what was that, urgent cares, and then meta spas, and anyway, but the return and all that isn't much. It's only my dogs 10. You can get back in healthcare 14 to 16%. And in advocacy, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that it's probably going to get up there in the future in 20 years. Because, you know, people, and especially in rural areas, they're going to need more in-home care. And it's getting expensive in facility where physicians are going to be more apt to not want to care for those people because of policy and government funding. And anyway, I'm getting way off track. But anyway, my dinner tonight, hopefully I can take pictures, is chicken, and I don't know how I'm going to cook it. But I've been like just doing like one pot skillet meals, sometimes 3, because it just ends up that way. But my friend last night, my old neighbor that I met in my old neighborhood, she was really kind, and she made up, it wasn't like old tacos, and now I'm talking like her husband. I can do accents really well, okay, people? So, okay. So, she's like me. She likes to prep, and when you're in the kitchen, or she's not, she's learning, and in her 60s, which God bless her. And like if I were learning in my 60s, I think I would look at my hair. God, good grief. So and her husband was a chef in Las Vegas, and so she doesn't like to throw anything away, and it's trash. Well, we don't know. We're all confused because our apps aren't working, and we only get alerted whenever Columbia feels like it, and or you know, we're not so busy. And so she messages me, and I'm so busy, like I'm trying to get my advocacy to really work. And it's like a fog sweeps in. This is one of my writings. And an anchor comes down and hangs on one of my hoot owl coattails, because it's a drawing that I have. And anyway, it's not anything bad. But there goes my St. Louis accent. So she's like, you want some of my tacos, because I don't want to throw this out. I don't want to throw this out. And I feel like St. Louis people tap themselves a lot. Because they don't want to smoke. I don't want to smoke, you know. I'm trying to quit, and I got to get my red lighter. And, you know, I'm from St. Louis. I'm from St. Charles. No. Sorry, guys. So, she's like, I'll just get one now. But it's so nice out, so I'll step out. So she's like, you want some of these and some tortillas. And all I had to do, and she even like grinded up some cheese. So anyway, it was really sweet. So we went over there about 6:30 and got some leftover tacos. So it saved me an hour. But I still had to clean up about an hour from the night before. I mean, what do you do? And I had to pour, because there's so many alcoholics in this town. I'm serious. About January and August, July and August, it seems like the winter cold, bitter cold, and then the heat in like Florida, because like in Florida, you know how like in Florida you get the crazies because it's so hot. Well, like here, and now I got the Florida accent. No, I'm kidding. Like, you know, like the New York people, they go down there in Florida and they retire, you know. Look, I got my rum and coke, and you know, in Florida, and you go down there and they retire down in, you know, Cocoa Reef and Monterey Bay and Monterey County, and they go down there and they retire and they go down there and they all go crazy because it's so hot. Well, that's like that here. Here I am in my cold closet gonna smoke. No, that's where I go when it's real cold, because I'll go crazy with all the alcoholics. I'm serious. I'm trying to quit smoking, but I didn't put my patch on, or it makes me irritable. All that nicotine at once. That's insane. You know what? As a nurse, I have this thing. And I go out here so I don't sound psycho when I make one of these videos. Because I live in the suburbs in Columbia, Missouri. Don't come here. Look at my Snap video. I think I published it. Yo, I'm telling you. If you mess with me and my kid, I'll shoot you like a cow. Don't mess with the crazy Missourians. My friend Shannon. So that's the taco lady. She has all these ideas. She's eccentric. All right. Well, I hope you like my chicken tonight. It's supposed to be really lovely. I don't know if I want to make it like Southern, because I saw these, you know, like how this week is like Martin Luther King Jr. week, and we're supposed to be celebrating him. Well, I was really busy Monday, and I saw all these like African American people where we were at getting my smokes, and they were all getting barbecue and celebrating, getting Hennessy. First time I had Hennessy, and I smoked on some cotton bud, a big old blunt of White Owl, and some Kush. I threw up. I passed out, blacked out. And all Hennessy is wine. Oh, that's what Shane and I got to talking about, fermentation. Christopher, he's around all these really bright people, but he's too hyper to listen. It's kind of funny. You want to hear something kind of crazy and paranoid? I don't know. I think it's just one of my neighbors that comes up here and smokes weed before work or something. But there's a red car that parks in different spots and parks. And it's usually on a Tuesday or Wednesday when I'm taking out the trash. It's kind of weird, right? And there's other videos like that. Like, I tried to get my camera and I was going to show you all, and I didn't know what to do. I had my robe on, taking out the try. I'm like, oh shit, that's not till Thursday anyway. Because Columbia fucking forgets. They're like, shit, we should probably send that out. And I'm like driving, and then my phone alerts me and it's like, hey, if you don't want alerts when you're driving to keep it safer, then here's a button you can push. But how can you do that and work? I can't answer the phone anyway when I'm driving and somebody's texting me. Oof. My dogs are staying off my property. We do not like you. I'm gonna pick my nose and stand in my coat closet and drink a rum and coke. Cause there's so many alcoholics. That's what I was gonna say. So I went up to my smoke shop, and 3 weeks in a row, they had my smokes. So I've had to go all the way into town, which it doesn't sound like much, but you gotta fight 15 minutes full of traffic with a lot of students. And so they say you don't have to come in here if you're a newcomer or a new mover into Columbia and see the students, but that's a full-fledged lie. If they don't have what you need at your original store and you live centrally in Southside Columbia, so you know what I thought about doing? Opening a storefront of like a tour to tour Columbia. What is that called? Of like fresh and coming businesses too, to where you want to put your business. Like a consulting firm. I thought about that. And like, and you can fly in and I can tour you around and you can stay here and then I can fly out. Anyway, if you're thinking about it, I thought about that too. But medicine's good. I'm coming into homes and helping people with geriatric care for now and pediatric care for now, which is stressful. And I gotta write the contracts today, which I can't do with my kid here. Why is there a city bus coming through here? Do we have a city stop? I've never seen a city bus come through here. I'm thinking about moving again. And I just moved. I don't like all the traffic. That's why I moved from Thornbrook, because there was a lot of traffic out there after they finished Scott. And that was hell. And I lived through a lot being built. I lived on Crestwood in this neighborhood, and they were building Form Boulevard. And they were going with their jackhammers, drilling that bridge. before Woodrow was even there. Yeah, one of those little houses was mine. And then it burnt down in 89, and I was almost 5. And my parents built a home they couldn't afford and almost got a divorce because my mom got a brain injury and she's in a home now, but I gotta go visit her. I gotta go put my glasses on and do those reports and marinate dinner. But I'm waiting on my dogs to bark at everybody and get the whole fucking neighborhood pissed. I've never seen a city bus go through here at all. That's weird. This town's changing. They said it's a small city feel. It feels like Liberty, Kansas City. That's what it feels like. More shootings. And since my friend, acquaintance, got shot, it's feeling more and more like that. And that's why I moved back from Kansas City. But anyway, and my brother. But I share a little too much. Who knows? Trying to earn back my reputation. And I was going to play my guitar today. I don't think I'll have time. So, I was trying to learn a new song. Waymaker for Colin. And Colin and I were going to hang out. But everything's happening on Friday. I'm getting my new TV. I'm landing a new patient. And my son won't go back to school since Martin Luther King. So, anyway, today's just one of those days. I was going to wake up and do a video of my breakfast and me taking my active supplements. And anyway, tired of everybody. They had me on the wrong thyroid medicine for a long time. So, and I have polycystic. Making fun of my weight. So we're having chicken tonight. I'm trying to teach Christopher what proteins are healthier. He loves pork. So we're trying to stay away from pork because it's just really not healthy for my religion. Anyway, it's in all of our religion, and we're really not supposed to eat a lot of cow, but we do. We love hamburger. Why? Poor cows and pigs. I once fixed this pork shoulder, and I feel horrible. I fed most of it, and I try not to feed pork to my animals, but I do. And I threw away the bone, because if the bone... Anyway, it's turning into a long one. So, I love you all, and Happy New Year, and the drinking started back in May, but I quit for a long time, and it's called one of those problematic, so it's not like a substance abusive issues. So I'm grateful for that. I wake up but I know that it can get out of hand because of my bloodline, and I'm glad that I can quit on my own. But some things I can't, like cannabis. I like the gummies. I started out eating it and making butter and bread and cookies, and I would bring it to my friends' houses that smoked it. And I'd be like, this is so much better for you. And then I started smoking because I would be remodeling houses. And that's what I'm doing now is remodeling houses. And anyway, so I'm back on that, like, why all 90%. Did you know that? It's 89% of Americans that are addicted to tobacco and cannabis. 89%, almost 90% of us. So that's why when you go into the doctor's office, they say, are you addicted to cannabis and tobacco? Do you have a problem with both? And you're like, no, I only smoke a half a pack. And I don't smoke that much cannabis. I smoke half a joint in the morning with my coffee, and then the other half in the evening to settle down with my wine. Nothing wrong with that. But they say if you smoke a joint a day, you're a chronic smoker. That's science. That's insane. So they're brackets. And so, like old hippies, I'm reading my text from Shannon. So, the hippies, they used to smoke dirt weed, like 5%, okay, 6%, 8%, like what we make rope with, hemp rope, okay, 10%. They would smoke it. They would smoke that, all right? And so the psychedelics effects of the THC-9, the Delta-9, wasn't as much. And so, and, you know, they would add other things like psychedelics, LSD, mushrooms, things like that. And opioids. And it would be more pure. That was in the 60s and 70s. They would give report to the government because most of them were in the military, and they were being experimented on because and the military allowed it to go over to other countries where it wasn't as regulated and come back. And then there was this big war on drugs, and, you know, that's why the cartel in Venezuela and all this bullshit's going on now. Yada, yada. So we're lifted on the classified drugs of illicit things, which is good because now we can study on a plant that we've needed for cancer research and development that is better than Marinol, because Marinol can give spasms later. It can give kidney stones, other things. It can give more adverse side effects than this plant, right? So that's how opioids came around, all right? So, and cannabis is an opioid. Cannabis it works on the function of cannabinoid A and B. I have a video on it on here. So it can screw up some of your GABA receptors, your dopamine, and your serotonin. And it does screw up your cortexes. So your gray matter, that's what I was getting at. So these hippies, when they go into the dispensaries, they can't get anything more than 17%. Because, like, say 25, 26, 30% of the Delta 9 of the cannabinoid receptor G is affecting them and bringing them, say, if they had tripped on acid or had done heroin or mushrooms in the past, it will activate that. And they're like, dude, I wish I wouldn't have done that hippie weed and all that other hippie shit, because this shit now and held out. And so that's what my father's a physician. He said that now. He's like, wait until you're mature. And so I was encountered young. And so there was a time where I could have screwed up some receptors. So when you do it now, it's not like when you talk about in the dating world now, you talk about people that are narcissistic and, have all these personality and mood. It could just be a maturity difference, a bracket that they never developed or grew out of or changed from because of the past, or they miss of themselves. It's not like they're broken or damaged or anyway, like these reports of these drug users, these addicts, it's funny, if you read them, it's not funny, but if you read the mental and physical, because it's physical what they're going through. Sorry. And like even opioid addicts today, doctors gave them drugs. And anyway, I'm sorry, because my brother died from that. And my family went through that, and I grieve through that. So I find it fucking hilarious. And I'm having chicken tonight. And I'm having rum because I'm celebrating the revolution of freedom, of how we need to succumb to roots.
Mom,
You think I'm just talking to myself? Oh, I can't say hi. Bye. Have a good day. Peace and love.